Kita amat berbesar hati kerana berpeluang berlintas langsung dengan Ketua Jurulatih Skuad Berbasikal Trek Negara iaitu Coach John Beasley. Hi Coach, can you hear us loud and clear?
Yes, I can.
Alright, that's great. Okay, so we would all love to know what is Azizul's current health situation following his withdrawal from the bronze medal sprint race on Sunday at the Nations Cup. Is there anything major that we should know?
No, there's not. Like, it was purely precaution. Like, we got to the start of the week, he wasn't even going to start. I didn't want him to start the race. We wanted him to fully recover, take the time, but couldn't stop him. He sort of contacted me and pleaded that he wanted to race, and we would take then. The assessment would be we'd take one race at a time, and sort of we got through the first race, and he did the fastest qualifying time out of any of the rounds in his qualifying heat, and I knew he was in a really good place from there. So then the plan was to go to the semi-final and race as easy as we could, but get through to the final, which he did, and then we were in a good shape for the final without having him exhausted. So we had a plan that we wanted to execute in the final because he's not 100% well. So we geared a lot lower than what we'd normally race on to look after him the best way we could. And we had to use that sort of power and speed that he possesses to put a big gap into everybody else, because we knew with their big gears they'd be coming home pretty quick. So, but lucky for us, the tactic worked, and he crossed the line first, which was it was fantastic. It was beyond our expectation, and he pulled up well. He had some signs of discomfort after, because he obviously he spent everything that he had to win. And then it was just a matter in the sprint the next day as to how he was going to come up. He had doping control after the race, so that took quite a bit of time. The race finished late. We got him back to the hotel probably 10:45 p.m. and then he had to eat, shower, and he was still on a high, so he didn't get a lot of sleep. And then it was an early rise the next morning, and he wanted to start the sprint no matter what. He said, look, just let me go through the warm-up and I'll let you know how I feel. And so after the warm-up, he said, look, I feel okay, I'd like to start. So we started, and he rode the fourth fastest qualifying time, which is, like, unbelievably well. He's only done that once, and that was at the World Championships in Glasgow. So he's definitely got faster than he's ever been. And it was a grueling day. So we got to race. We got through all the rounds, and I think everyone that watched his footage saw, how well he was riding. And we got to the quarterfinals, and I said, this one, we just take it easy, because we've only got probably 2 races left in those legs and in the body. And so we wanted to save it for the semi-final and win the bronze medal. But we never quite got there. So we got to just before the semi-final. I could see he was a little bit distressed. And so it was time to do it. It's all about management, with him, look after his health and get him to Paris.
Yeah, okay. Coach, I'm sorry to cut you off, but a lot of people have been asking the exact same question as we are wondering right now. Maybe you can explain further what exactly is pericarditis, and how exactly does it stop Azizul from doing his regular training, or how long will he have to be out? A lot of people are wondering, so maybe we could get the right answer from you.
Yeah, well, I'm not a medical specialist, so please don't take mine as gospel. What I understand is the outer wall of the heart, the lining, there's swelling. So it restricts what the heart can do. And it gives the symptoms of somebody having, sort of heart attack. So tight chest, can't breathe, and severe sort of loss of energy. There's not a lot of oxygen being pumped through the system. So, I saw him at his worst when I took him to the competition 2 weeks ago, and he couldn't even walk to the car without stopping for a few minutes, a couple of times. So he was in bits, and I just thought that was the effects of his virus that he had few weeks ago, and since then, when he presented at the hospital, the day after he returned home, we found out what the real cause was. So it's inflammation of the heart, sort of wall, the lining of the heart, and it is like having a heart attack. So doctors, it's quite serious. The doctors, didn't want him to compete. It was his decision. I left it 100% to him. Like I said, for me, I would sooner him miss this competition and we do another one later. But he wanted to do it, and when I saw him, pre-race, he looked as good as I've seen him, for a couple of months. So it was all about management. So he's not 100%. So I just had to manage him.
Okay, Coach, we would also like to know, has Azizul returned to Melbourne? And if so, how do you coordinate the training plans with him while you're in KL and he's in Melbourne, Coach? Yeah,
well, he's been with us pretty much all the time, but he's gone back for his children's schooling, and the wife had the fourth child in Melbourne. So, I've got, I used to coach Shane Kelly, who's the Victorian Institute of Sport coach. And, I've got a great relationship. So I write the program and talk to Azizul and talk to Shane and make sure we get what we want. And we've got a power meter, so I can measure everything that I need, speed, power, cadence. Everything is measurable, and I get that data back, and then I can look at and see the progression. And in 3 weeks' time, he's back with us all the way through to the Olympics. So it's only a short time period. He's getting a lot of tests done over the next couple of weeks with the specialists in Melbourne that Dr. Jeswant has teed up, and just to make sure that he's 100% right. And then we can just work on the psychology part that, you're 100% well. So don't worry about that. And now it's just taking those small steps and making those small increments all the way into Paris.
All right, Coach. Also, next month, there's high expectations on Azizul qualifying for the Paris Olympics at the Nations Cup in Hong Kong. Is there time for him to recover and get back to full fitness by then, Coach?
He won't be at his best then, because we monitor and he's on a reduced training load. But the main thing is to have him healthy by then. So, and you can see what he can do when he's not healthy. So we're in a pretty good place. Like his power output is very, very good. It's his recovery that is the big factor at the moment. So he just can't recover in between efforts. So we just got to make sure that things are spaced out enough that he has got time to recover. And he's really good at knowing how his body should feel and how it's feeling at the time. So we just let him sort of take control over what he can do and what he can't do. Because one thing with Azizul, he always gives you 100%. So you don't have to worry about him sort of cheating. He's probably too far the other way. He tends to do too much. Mm-hmm. So it's just, we manage him through the next couple of weeks. Then he's with us day by day. And, when he's with us, we just got to protect him so he gets the recovery. That's the biggest thing. So we try and shelter him as much as we can between now and Paris with interviews and stuff like that, because they all take a lot of time and preparation out of his day. So all I want leading into Paris is we'll have some days that he'll service his sponsors and the media, and then I would like him, the people to understand that he needs to be left alone. When he's here, that's the hardest part. You can't go for dinner without people wanting pictures and whatever. And he's such a nice guy. He's very obliging. So if Malaysia want to truly sort of give him the best chance of winning that gold medal, everyone needs to support him. And the best way to support him is let him rest. Yeah. So if he gets the recovery, we can work him hard, and we're just going to get better and better coming into Paris.
Yeah, we should all give him all the time and space that he needs to recover properly, and I believe that he'll be at his best anytime soon. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, Coach, and hopefully we'll hear even more good news from you and your team soon. Bye.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank
Bye.
You. Bye.